Hello everyone. My name is Francis Neil B. Rendon, and I'll be discussing the most common mistakes companies make with global marketing. And first would be not specifying countries, and um, as executives tend to think about overseas markets in vague regional terms. In example, we're shifting our focus to Asia, or we'd like to double our growth in Europe. But this oversimplification is problematic. Ask people what they mean by Europe, and you get the widely varying answers. Western Europe, the European Union, the Eurozone, and so on. So customers identify at the national level, and marketers need to remember that every country has its own local laws, cultural norms, form of currency and payment, and a unique business practices. So marketers and executives who do not live in a region might think about it as a homogeneous term. For example, they may be interested in expanding their business in Kenya, but refer and think about it on simply Africa. Similarly, they might want to launch the product in the UAE, but their framework of thinking is defined by Middle East as a whole. So marketers should be wary of not identifying countries clearly, or even more specifically regions within countries, because different domestic regions may have their own values, cultures, and business practices that dramatically impact how you launch a marketing strategy in that region. And failure to research this aspect of your international marketing strategy may result in important details being missed, like a local competitor that's already well entrenched. And as for the next, not paying enough attention to internal data, developing a global market entry strategy requires more complex and specialized market research. In the vast universe of data that can help you figure out which markets are best for you, the most important data point are how much estimated opportunity is available in the market, how easy it will be for your company to do business in that market, and third, how much success you've already had with that market. So, as for this is that third-party data might not be all that useful when launching your brand in a new region. Specialized internal marketing research will help you gather information on these three key points on that market. And as for the next, not adopting their sales and marketing channels. Many companies, especially Western ones, believe that they can enter new markets by following the same playbook that brought them domestic success. While brand consistency is important, different markets favor different sales and marketing approaches. So, for example, in countries where the relationship have a higher cultural value, such as Japan, selling products and services through local partners, such as resellers or channel partners, achieve faster success than direct sales models. Conversely, SaaS or SaaS online and touchless sales models are often popular in markets where the cost of living is higher and automation is prized, such as the Nordic market. And as for this, just because your strategy works in one region doesn't mean that it will work in another. When launching in a new region, consider how to adapt your sales and marketing channels so that it's relevant. Failing to do your research and adapt could see you invest heavily into an approach that destined to crash and burn. And as for the next, not adapting the product offering, companies achieve product market fit one country at a time, yet all too often companies try to launch identical products in different markets, ignoring the fact that they're dealing with very different customers. For example, a software company won't succeed abroad if it sells the same product that it sells at home if users in the new market aren't similar or aren't familiar with certain advanced features. Instead, they should start with more basic versions of the product to get people accustomed to it. Likewise, a more advanced market might require more features than a product currently has available. So your product needs your product also needs to adapt to suit the needs of the local markets. While companies can get away with launching an identical product in culturally similar regions, it would be a mistake to make that assumption for a region with different beliefs and value structures. So people experience with similar products also needs to be taken into account. If you launch a highly advanced product in a region where a similar device or a service has never been sold before, potentially customers may be left scratching their heads wondering what to do with half the features. So price also needs to be adapted to the needs of the local market. If the local population can't afford your main offering, consider stripping some features and offering it at a more suitable price point. And next would be um, not letting local teams lead the way. So one of the most disappointing mistakes that I've seen companies make is that they hire highly competent intelligent local people to serve their overseas markets, but then fail to consider their input when making strategic decisions. So, as for this uh, physical, all right. So, your local team should be trusted to guide your company in a new region, but companies can fail to take input from them. Don't just pay lip service to the people you hire to get your brand off the ground in a new market. Pay attention to your existing connection with a region within a region in order to increase your chances of success. Next would be all right. So for this I'll be showing you a video in in regards to the topic. Okay.
Hello there! Today we're going over the top 10 instances where companies failed miserably at international expansion, to sometimes hilarious effect. Let's go! Number 10. When the Gerber Baby Food Company expanded to Africa, they were met with shock and confusion as, in many African countries, such as Ethiopia, shoppers who can't read rely on the image on the can to tell them what's inside. Yikes. Number 9. When the Swedish vacuum makers Electrolux decided to release their products in the United States, they had a very poor reception. It was only then that they realized their slogan, "Nothing sucks like Electrolux," perhaps wasn't the most enticing to consumers. Number 8. When the Coca-Cola Company first entered the Chinese market, their name was rendered as Kekule, which was discovered to mean either bite the wax tadpole or female horse stuffed with wax, depending on the dialect, only after thousands of signs had already been printed. In a hurry, they decided on the phonetically similar sounding Kokokule, which means happiness in the mouth. Number 7. When the American Coors Beer Company expanded their Turn It Loose campaign to Spain, they quickly became a sensation for all the wrong reasons. As it turns out, Turn It Loose translated to suffer from diarrhea in Spanish. Number 6. The American personal care brand Dove released a promotion specific to England in 2017 with the message that there is no perfect body type, producing soap bottles in 7 different shapes and sizes. They were met with backlash and wide criticism, as the previously unrelated soap products now made the distinct point of reminding English women of their own body type when choosing between the bottles in the store and checking out. Then, when in the shower, the wider pear shaped bottles were unwieldy and heavy, slipping easily, while the tall, skinny bottles were very weak and fell over. Meanwhile, those with the hourglass figure were the easiest to use, hold, and were the most stable. Not exactly what they were going for. Number 5. In 2006, the American hardware and homeware company Home Depot felt the need to expand to China. It was only after they had opened 12 stores that they learned do-it-yourself home renos are seen as a sign of poverty in the Chinese culture. By 2012, they had closed their doors completely. Number 4. In 1994, Heineken's World Cup campaign had them print each of the participating countries' flags on their bottles. This sparked outrage in Saudi Arabia, as their flag contains a religious verse. The association with alcohol was not appreciated. Number 3. In the 1970s, American Motors released a car called the Matador in reference to the strength and bravery of the bullfighters in Spain. Unfortunately, this marketing campaign went very poorly in Puerto Rico, as, in Spanish, Matador means killer. Not exactly a good selling point for a brand new vehicle on the market. Number 2. An ad by the Fiat car company in 2008 depicted actor Richard Gere driving from Hollywood to Tibet, where he left his handprint in the snow. When it aired in China, the public was outraged on account of the long-standing China-Tibet dispute. In addition, the decision to use Richard Gere, a very well-known supporter of the Dalai Lama and Tibetan independence, was seen as a slap in the face, resulting in hordes of Chinese citizens swearing to never purchase a Fiat. Number 1. In 2002, sportswear company Umbro was forced to withdraw its brand new Zyklon sneakers after countless angry complaints from many individuals and organizations, informing them that Zyklon was the name of the gas used to murder millions of Jews in German concentration camps in World War II. So, what can we learn from this? Well, for starters, each of these marketing blunders can be distinguished into two main groups: linguistic and cultural. But of course, there is still room for nuance in these categories. For example, Dove's body image campaign doesn't necessarily need to be linked to one specific misunderstood culture, but rather to a wider scope of women who feel self-conscious about their body weight. In this case, their better move would have been to continue their already tested and proven methods of body image promotion. Now, if we take a closer look at these, we can more easily see how these mistakes could have been avoided. In terms of linguistic differences, it is always in a company's best interest to hire a native speaker and work closely with them, having them look over potential products and advertisements to catch any unforeseen double meanings or innuendos. For cultural differences, you will want to work with someone of the target demographic you are trying to reach. For example, if wanting to release a product in Japan, it is best to work with someone from Japan, preferably someone already on the ground, who can help you understand the cultural differences which could alter how you approach the situation. I hope this video has entertained and enlightened you. And that's all for now. Have a great day.
Alright, so that ends my topic. Once again, this is Francis Nilby Rendon, and thank you for listening, and goodbye.